All right, for all of you that are following along with this thing, so we were at the dyno yesterday. Got this thing back together. Started on it this morning, got it all back apart. Got the intake manifold off, fuel pump back off. So it tore the belt up. Where'd it go? Anyway, tore the belt up. So if you look down in here, see this right here? There's a little tiny Allen bolt that holds this on. So you could see it. It backed off and it started flopping around. Started wobbling the belt and it moved the pump, right? The pump's on a lollipop. It actually moved the pump. So this went that way, tore that up. And the pump went, let's see, right here. We cleaned that back up, but tore that up. So tore the belt up, pump's fine, teeth are fine, everything's all good. So we got that off. We got to pull the blower off to get a new belt in there. And so that means all this crap got to come off again. The oil leak issue, we figured out what it was. So what happens is, follow this, right? Small block Ford. Gasket goes like this, just follows this right around like this, right? Like that. So we put the intake manifold, I took the intake manifold off, and the silicone was here, just like I had it. But you could see where it squished the silicone. That intake manifold goes like this. We actually put it back on and traced it out. Look how far back it goes. So the original one goes just like this and like this. Right? So if you get one of them cork gaskets, which I don't have any of them here now, right now, but they go like this, right? Well, this intake manifold goes all the way back here like that. So basically from here to about here was actually just open and the oil was just blowing right out. So you look at it like that and you're like, oh, okay. But then when you look at the bottom of it, let's see if you could see it, right? It's way out here and it's that thin. So that intake goes all the way over here like this. So basically this whole section was just not even doing anything. Anyway, so we got that back on there. Took all this stuff off. Got all this back in here. Gonna clean all this mess up. We got it all cleaned up and just make sure there's nothing in there. Vacuum it all back out. Lay a bead of silicone where it needs to go now. Got new gaskets. So that's the part number for the gaskets. Picked up the new oil filter, oil, rear end oil, the gear oil. We got to put new gear oil in it. Picked up a set of 10s, some silicone. So that's about it. Got to put it back together. Pull this off. So I got 2 new belts coming. Got a spare coming from Jones pulleys and stuff like that. I don't know what I do with that pulley belt. What did we do with it? Yeah, right here. So this is the belt. Belt got tore up because it basically locked up. So that's the part number for the belt. Called them up this morning. Jones Racing Products, right? They're right here over in Pennsylvania. Got 2 of them. They'll be here tomorrow morning. And that's it. That's the harness. I got the harness out of it. So it's nice. The harness just comes out. Just feed it through. This is the harness for the injectors. And the other harness goes down in through there to feed all the junk. All right. So everything else looks good. No more issues. We're going to pull all the plugs out, obviously, and put the other plugs in it, gap them a little tighter. Make sure the wires are all on good. And we're good to go. All right. Cool. Quick service from these guys. Shout out to them. Ordered it yesterday. Got it today. So I got all this apart. I got to take that little thing apart again. Get the washer off it. We're going to slip the belt in, get it all in place, and then put it all back on. So this is how all this goes on here. So this is one of those Jones gears, but you got to take everything apart. So that'll actually come off. All right. And then you got that, and you got one little, this washer that keeps it in place. And then this locks it in. So this time I'm going to put a little bit of blue Loctite on this. And then put it in there. And then that just holds it in there. All right. All back together. Got everything all put back together. And push it back inside. Put it on the lift this time. Change the oil filter. Drain the rear out of it. Fill that back up, and then put a different vent tube on it. All right, got the thing up on the lift. So it's got two drain plugs, one in the front for this little pocket it's got in the front. So the Fox body has the rack, so the oil pan goes over the front, and then the one in the back. So you pull the diaper back. See how much oil we get out of the thing. Oil looks clean. Here's the drain plug from the front. That's the one from the back. So, no metal, no nothing, just this black soot, which is basically breaking oil.
Us trying to get it running.
That's it. So.
Okay, move this.
All right.
Completely.
So let me put the plugs back in. I'm going to take the filter down. I'm going to prime the filter up. Put it all back together. Clean up all the mess from the oil leak. And the back, I already did the back. We cleaned all that up. You just got to put a different a different vent tube on that. So do that too. All right. All right, everything's back together. The rear done, the front's done, oil change. The last thing I did, I hope is the last thing I ever have to do to this car. So the wiring harness for the headlights was mounted in the front, right? But then there's no way to get the lights, the marker lights plugged in. So we took the headlights completely off. I took the little studs that would normally just snap in here, so we replaced them with these screws. And then the regular little things that we did before. So the headlight stays in place, that stays in here. We made the harness stay in here, and then it just has the plug. So now when you put the nose on or off, you just unplug the plug, and that's it. You don't have to worry about taking the headlights apart and undoing the headlight bulbs and all the wiring and all that dumb stuff. So that's it. Back together. And that's it. I'm gonna put that back on when Josh comes back. Start it up, load it up in the trailer. Okay, so we got this thing all back together. Billy was kind enough to come by here again and just check it for me, make sure everything's cool. Give it a once over and a goodbye. This Friday is going home. Okay. All right. Hey, Pete, look what I brought you back. Finally. All right, we're back. We're down here in South Carolina. We're at Pete's place. Just moved a whole bunch of crap around. What's up, Annalisa? Moved a whole bunch of stuff around. Bringing his car back. I'm gonna give you a little update on where we're standing so far, because it was a nightmare right to the minute we had to leave. Hold on. All right, so got the hood off, showing them all the stuff that we got to show them with this thing. So when we were getting ready to leave, all right, so we brought it back from the dyno. We did all the intake stuff. You guys all saw that. I put everything back together. Billy came by the house. We were getting ready to fire it up. He just wanted to give it a once over before I took it back down here, make sure the idle was good. We started up and it was leaking fuel out of here, right? So I'm like, all right, what happened with that? So make a long story short, it had a leak. The O-rings that come with these Holly rails, they're not for methanol. So just so you know, you got to get, that's how fast they shrunk up. So we just swapped them over. We changed that over, put them in there. And what else? And then I had to change the spark plug wires, because the spark plug wires that we got, the MSD ones, they kept coming. They would not stay on. These are nice and tight. So these are Ford racing ones, right? You could tug on these, they ain't coming off. They're nice and tight. So I redid all those, made all that stuff. So right to the last second, this car kicked my ass. But now it's here. It's done.
Kick my ass.
Now it's gonna kick his ass. He's gonna be an ass kicker. You should just call, that's what you name this car, ass whooping. My own ass whooping. But we're good now. So we just fired it up. Sounds good. Everything's cool. Showed him how everything works. And we're gonna put it inside. We're gonna try to fix those two things. I didn't want to do those without him, but we're gonna put 2 black Zeus fasteners on here so that we can make sure the hood stays shut. But everything else is good with it. We're good to go. Sounds good. Can't wake the neighbors up with this bad boy. All right, I'll get back to you in a little bit. And we're not going to the track because it's raining here. So we'll have to come back. We'll come back down when he's ready. We'll go to the track and meet him there and make some passes with it. All right, here we go. Oh yeah. That thing will rattle your brains.
Looks good, Sean.